You know, we can have an issue or a problem and we can seek a solution to it, which is what we normally do. In a Zen coaching session, we don't stop there. We're actually asking more deeply, what is it that's really important here?
I very often go directly in, like deep in, to my inner wisdom and my knowledge, and it's magic in a way, because most of the time we're not really that much aware of that inner knowledge of wisdom.
I have the experience of being really listened to and really seen and heard and allowed, so that my own inner judgments become much more loud and clear, and I become aware of them, because I have this very neutral space where nobody else is judging me. So if I hear any judgment or sense any judgment, I know it's my own, and so I can relate to it as that.
I think I enjoy the most just being allowed to be myself, and not feel the pressure or expectations to be somewhere else than where I am, which is, yeah, just a beautiful gift to be given by the Zen coach.
It is an allowing place where there is no pressure to perform. Once you learn new things, you can also safely explore them and become comfortable with them.
There is an incredibly allowing attitude to whatever it is that comes. So I really enjoy that I'm able to connect with whatever is there for me. And the reason that is so amazing is that when I do that, and when there is somebody who can really receive that with love and compassion and be curious about it and make me feel like it's okay. It's okay to whatever feelings I may have related to it.
I know that I'm being followed. I'm not being pushed anywhere. And at the same time I get challenged in many ways with questions and curious questions and powerful questions.
And you also have the support from both the teachers and also the whole group, because the intention is actually also to lovingly support all exploration and adventure and testing the boundaries and the limits, and yeah, seeing what is possible.
I really like the format of the training, where there are short lectures and a lot of exercises, and yes, we walk the talk, so to speak, that we do a lot of exercises so that we learn coaching by coaching.
There are these simple practices, inquiries that we practice in the training and that we get to enjoy together. And there's a balance also with the teaching that is part of. So a balance of actually practicing it and experiencing the effect of it, and then having it kind of put into context and being able to ask the questions. So that, in terms of the way the training runs, I really appreciate.
The inquiries have really put me in touch with my strength and my inner wisdom, really. I feel like every time it's like magic. And somebody asked me the same question many times. At least most of the time it feels like I very quickly get in touch with some very deep and strong and wise things inside of me, and it can be fun as well.
It's like a training for the heart and the body, and also a training for the brain, because you understand what you are doing. It's lots of knowledge about what's going on in my body, and when I have this knowledge, it's easier for me to accept everything who arrives in me.
most of the things that he talked about are things that feel very important and very vital to me. It's like when we sit here in this group and he's talking, it's a feeling of being understood, because he just says all the things that are alive in me.
The reason why I found my way to Ängsbacka and to this coaching training was a spot on YouTube where he was speaking, Cora was speaking about Zen coaching, and he was humorous and light in his voice and in the way that he was presenting it. And I think that is one of the things that I enjoy the most, that although we are working with sometimes very difficult issues and people are coping and working with things in their lives which are very hard and difficult, at the same time there's a lightness and humor and dancing and joy and juiciness in what we're doing, and I'm enjoying that very much.
He invites us, the rest of the trainees, to co-create these days together with him, which is, we're not passive learners, we're active co-creators of our own training.
He really connects with the moment and with the group every time. So every time it's a new training, every time it's new moment, and even if the topic is maybe the same topics. So it's a new way of looking at it. So it's inspiring for me to see that he's really living from the present moment. He's living what he's teaching. He walk the talk.
It resonates with a certain felt truth inside. So, as much as I couldn't explain all of that in the beginning, and still can't entirely, that is what motivated me to come to the Zen Coaching Training. And it still is what motivates me to be part of the Zen Coaching Training.
Before the training, I was looking outside for attention, to fill this hole of not being good enough. And during the training, I was getting the opportunity to really feel that I'm good enough. And it's like a little bit being naked and also being empowered at the same time. To just being me. It's enough. It's good enough to be me.
My life has changed in a lot of ways as a result of engaging in Zen coaching practices and coaching. I think the most important change is I feel more compassionate towards myself, more loving and more allowing. And that, as a result of that, I'm also able to feel more compassionate and loving towards other people.
I can look at the things in a clearer way. It gives me another perspective than the one I had. So I can take better decisions.
I've experienced a lot of shame in my life that I struggle a lot with, but it's like the last year I almost haven't had any shame experiences, which is huge for me.
That it is very important for me to live the truth that I feel, and for most of my life I have struggled to do that. I felt a disconnect between what I feel to be true and the life that I'm living. And being in the Zen Coaching Training allows me more and more, through very simple practices, to live that.
I have the same emotions and feelings and experiences, and I make the same mistakes and I get upset about the same things, but it's not so dramatic anymore. Yeah, which is really nice. It's like, I'm learning to notice it rather than being in it, or at least shifting in and out of being in it, so it's not sort of completely occupying me.
Of course, I have situations now where I don't feel balanced, but I can handle that now, to just think like, hey, what's happening here? I mean, what is this? And I can really feel into the feeling and separate things. And it didn't exist for me first. So that's the main thing.
I'm still living in the same city, having the same job, the same couple of friends, but how I relate to myself, how I relate to my everyday experience have changed immensely.
It is a process that I feel that I have to practice it every day with normal day situations, and that has given me the insight and the possibility to really go into my essence and be there and enjoy it.
Instead of shutting off, you can actually take your heart into your hands and go through whatever is kind of threatening you. And behind that is usually a gift in almost all cases. And a gift that is just waiting for you to be picked up.
Main insights is a difficult one because it changes all the time, and there are so many of them. It's like fireworks in Tivoli, I think. Really.